Hi, I'm Evie Kimsing, editor of identityweek.net. I'm here on site at Identity Week America. I'm joined now by the founder and CEO of Sphere, one of our companies here today. And it's great to meet you, Rita, pioneering this company. And you've often said that PAM and IM were never designed to tackle identity issues, on their own. How does IVIP fill this gap?
It's a great question. So I think the world has become very comfortable about the PAM and IGA space, and they're really good at what they were designed to do. Vaulting accounts, doing attestations, user access reviews, provisioning, deprovisioning. But the whole point of IVIP is not just to tackle the things we know, but to tell us the things we don't know. What are all those blind spots that our PAM and IGA solutions are missing? That's where the bad actors are looking. Domain admins, check. I think a lot of companies have gone down that path, secured that. Onboarding your SOX applications to the IGA, check. Your auditors have probably been asking you to do that for a very long time. But what about all those orphaned accounts that live on servers? What about all those entitlements embedded in databases? What about all those machine identities that talk to each other, that keep the systems at a business up and running? What happens when bad actors attach to those? They wreak havoc. And that's what IVIP is designed to do. It's all about putting a magnifying glass on identity. It's about providing that critical visibility of the things you don't know, not just about automating the processes of what you do know. And what I find really awesome about the term IVIP is that second I, intelligence. A lot of companies can hire developers to write some scripts and get lists of stuff. But without context, without intelligence, that's just a list of stuff. So how do you actually secure identity in a smart, clean, effective way? And how does a CISO sleep at night knowing that I have coverage of my estate? And that's why IVIP is so fundamental, and I believe is actually going to become the nucleus of identity programs.
You're so right to bring up all the kind of threat actors out there, the non-human and human identities. You've coined this expression, identity hygiene. Just take us through that. How does your solution bring visibility and intelligence to solve issues faced by companies?
That's a great question. So I love and I hate the term hygiene. I love it because it tells you that it's all about having a clean environment, meeting your standards, following your policies, having controls in place, right? But sometimes hygiene alludes to a one-time spring cleanup, right? And that's not really what IVIP is about. So I'm bringing and preaching and talking so much about how identity hygiene is an outcome of strong IVIP. Having that visibility, having that intelligence, knowing that you've protected all of those service accounts is what's going to put you in a good, clean state of health. And I like to use analogies, so don't joke too much or don't laugh too much. But we talk about brushing your teeth. You don't do it once. It's not once in the spring, it's every single day. And we don't do it just because it's a routine that we have to do. We do it to prevent cavities. I see identity hygiene in a very similar lens, and by talking about IVIP, it's a continuous ongoing need now. PAM and IGA, we talked about that in your last question. They can't function well without good data coming into those systems, without the identity information being given to them so they can do what they do best. And when it comes to the sprawl of the amount of identities that companies now have to protect, it could feel very overwhelming. And that's why automation is absolutely pivotal, to be able to do this at scale and to know that you have complete coverage of your environment.
Absolutely, and against this you've got so many non-human identities, genetic AI systems exploding across enterprises. Why do you believe that IVIP is a critical layer to ensure these identities are, discovered, secured?
Absolutely. Well, if you think about machine identities, we've all seen so many cool stats out there. Well, cool may be the wrong word, maybe scary, but 85-1 is, I think, the ratio of non-human to human identities at a company. So just think about that. A company with 10,000 employees can have 85 times that amount of machine identities.
Wow.
And each of those identities, human and non-human, have access to different systems. So now multiply that scope and scale by another 10, another 20. It's massive.
Yes,
it's
huge.
Absolutely massive. And when we talk about agentic AI, this is now AI agents actually doing tasks that human used to do. So it used to be about protecting the identities from what humans and applications can do. Now it's AI agents that will make decisions on their own based on what access you give them and what exposure they have. And that is a really scary problem.
Absolutely. It's just multiply. When a CIO or a CISO says, why do I need another platform on top of PAM or IGA? You've kind of explained this already. What is the practical value of that?
So you'll laugh, but oftentimes when a company deploys our products, they go, oh, that's how PAM was supposed to work. Oh, that's how IGA was supposed to cover all of my access points and entitlements. And we're like, yeah, absolutely. I go back to the whole phrase of bad data in, bad data out. You have to give these systems the right information for them to function effectively. And I'm really excited that IVIP has become a brand, a category, a topic in of its own right, because it's really important. We talk a lot in the business world about platformization, but the truth is IVIP is actually telling the world and the community that you need purpose-built. You need organizations, companies, support that focuses on this problem, because it by itself is massive. And there is no one-size-fits-all for everybody. So being able to focus on one area and make sure that that works across lots of different scopes, but integrates with the other technologies that you've invested in, that's what's going to solve this problem.
Do we have recognition among the whole industry of that, and what does that recognition mean for Sphere?
I think we're starting to. And I think it's because of the incredible minds at places like Gartner that is driving this kind of awareness. But I also believe the customer community is driving the need. Me as a CEO, I don't make a decision of where to invest my product and engineering efforts because of Gartner. I make that decision because customers are telling us this is their pain. And they have invested in the Cyborgs of the world, and they have invested in the SailPoints and Savians of the world, but they need more. And I think IVIP is, again, going to change the game, and it's going to help CISOs realize this isn't actually add-on capabilities. This is the foundation. That hygiene is your standard. That this is actually what should be feeding all of these other systems around it. So there's cleanliness, standardization, and consistency across identity with all the different products that we invest in. And that's why I love IVIP. It brings awareness to a very important need. It's what we've been preaching for years. And it's kind of exciting that it's recognized as a major focus area with not just the enterprise world, but across the entire landscape of client communities.
Well, I hope to hear about it throughout the conference.
Oh, you
That's
sure
what it's
will.
all about. Thank you so much for your time.
Of course. Thank you so much.